Okay, so this is the first video camera video in a long time. It's getting toward dark, evening, day 250. I'm up here near Granite Peak, near Granite Falls, Wyoming. I'm not too far from Granite Creek there. It's right on the edge of the Gros Ventre, something like that. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. No doubt I'm pronouncing it wrong. Wilderness area. It's really weird to do. It's been months. There's a lot to catch up on, I suppose. I don't know. I don't even remember when the last one of these I did is. Anyway, we tried to go up to Grand Teton National Park, and we did. We paid the week's fee, and man, it was busy. And I guess this is the slow season, and it was pretty much bumper to bumper traffic, and there's people hurrying and scurrying, and the campsites were teeny tiny. And the thing is the ones for tents, the regulation there is you have to be on this pad. They make this like gravel box. Your tent has to be on that, and it's like 8x8 max, you know. And like we brought our little this little wiki up. We've been in this modified diamond tent, and it's like 12 by 10 ish, and that's, you know, without its fly on it, the place to cook. Hey, it's this over here. This is what we've been experimenting with the last couple of events, modifications, different setups. But basically, when we go on a trip or a rendezvous the last couple of times, we bring some poles, bring some rope, bring some canvas, but then what we make's depending upon what's there, using the trees, whatever. It's been part of our getting deeper in our personas for the mountain man part of the thing we do, and that's starting to seem pointless. Well, I can see just a hint of sunset up on that mountain over there. Let's see if I can... over there, see? It's pretty neat. Just a shaft of light coming through the clouds, illuminating that, which is pretty cool. Yeah, we had, I don't know, we all just like... I think we went to 7 rendezvous this season. Let's see, Frozen Toes in February, and then Happy Canyon in May, ours in June, Nationals in July, Crested Butte August, Como in August, and went to Trapper Days at Fort Lupton for the first time, and so that's 7. You know, and when we started rendezvousing 6 years ago, this is our 6th season. You know, there's this just fuckhead pedophile that we'd crossed paths with early one year, and now I'm not gonna get completely into it, but kids came away unscathed. He tried some of his crap with a couple underage girls, and they managed to deal with it, and we banished him, and you know, it is what it is. Just, you know, because we hope to host those open events at the house and people come over. Sometimes you don't know who they are, you know. And so anyway, but he went to this one rendezvous we went to, and he made it his, you know, mission in life to go around and try to start as much trouble as possible for us. And you know, the fucked up thing is it started to work, and people were really listening to it. And some people, most of which have, you know, I think, come around to the idea that, yeah, you know, that was really fucked up to listen to somebody that's, just because you've known him longer doesn't mean he's a better or worse person. You know, sometimes you kind of need to evaluate the people you're spending time with. Anyway, but there's a lot of horrible things were said, and it got really hard for us, and we almost quit rendezvousing. And then a handful of really kind and generous men, made sure we stayed in it and stayed with it. And it's worked out. We've really enjoyed it, and it's become a big part of our life, part of our lifestyle, even, I mean, it's not the only way we live, it's not the only thing we do, but it's something we spend a lot of time and energy on and like doing, and to the point of we even run our own now and everything. So anyway, I figured this is that sort of shit's 5 years in the past. And wouldn't you know it, halfway through this fucking season, that shit starts rearing its fucking head again. A person who should fucking know better, a couple people, it turns out they've been, the last few years, been telling, like, any new people we meet, like, new to rendezvousing, like, they tell people stay away from them. They're all these, saying all kinds of horrible shit about us. And, it just comes a fucking point when you wonder, like, why are you doing it? If all the work you've put in and all the, goodness of a person you try to be and all that stuff is just for no fucking reason you can discern, somebody just decides that they have to propagate a bunch of fucking bullshit. I mean, we get that from their fucking Rennies all the fucking time. That's fucking Ren Fair people, but I didn't expect it from the Rendezvous people, but we had a lot of outpouring of support for it, and so those people that are doing that, hopefully either they're sorry for it or they know it's fucking stupid at this point because nobody's buying it anymore. So I kind of had that, so it's been a little weird going back to Rendezvous because we found out about that at Nationals. So we've been to 3 Rendezvous since then. It's been a little weird, but it hasn't been too bad. Not the one we just went to, but the one just before that was really, really awesome. I camped with my friend Mitch and his friends, and we all put together our little Indian trader. If it was Spanish Trail, it'd be Comancheros up in the Red River. It's, Métis. It's, half-breed camp. The descendants of Europeans and natives, created their own trade cultures, and that's what we've been going for persona-wise, and so it's kind of neat that we're tuning that in a lot to the point where we actually fixed up Star's pony cart and used it to haul our gear in. We parked in the parking lot and hauled our gear in and stuff, and so we didn't do that for this last rendezvous we went to, but we took basically the same stuff, a cart worth of trade goods and our camping gear and everything, and then from there, Brenda and I are on we try to take a trip for our anniversary every year, and so we're kind of taking a little bit longer one. We usually just take like an overnight. We were taking almost a week this time, and anyhow, so we kind of decided on trying to do the Tetons and Yellowstone and all that, and everybody told us Yellowstone's busier than the Tetons, and the Tetons were a zoo. I mean, bad. So we decided, Yellowstone. Who wants to, sit there with 1,000 people trying to catch a view of Old Faithful, you know what I mean? It's just too much, because one of the things about this project that's been becoming more and more obvious is that the longer I do it, the longer I make sure that I'm living life by choice, and the more that I'm living life aesthetically, the more coarse and ugly the world seems, and is truly. I mean, I think everybody just gets numb to it. I don't think it's a matter of it being okay. I think it's a matter of you just get used to anything, right? And like, we try to drive somewhere and the people behave so sociopathically. They speed and they pass on double yellows, and they don't pay attention to what they're doing. And people go, well, what do you mean that's sociopathic? I mean, I'm like, they don't care about the social contract. They don't care about the consequences of what they do to the society around them. They don't care about it. It's sociopathic. But then I started thinking about most of the system behaviors, the pseudo-civilization behaviors, and they're really coming down to me. I'm looking at them, they're either psychopathic or sociopathic. And, I mean, the economy, politics, everything, the whole damn thing is doesn't care one fucking bit for what's right and wrong about anything. Just do what you want to do. Do what you can get away with. That's the big thing. So anyway, got done with our job up in the mountains. I don't know if I ever talked about that. I don't remember the last video I did. It's been a long time. We had a rock job up in the mountains. I've been working away from the world too. And that doesn't help on the one hand, but it does help on the other hand because, health and being calm and enjoying my life should have some value. And I don't want to be so miserable I numb myself down, So... I don't know how to catch up on this. I think I just need to daily do things again. Anyhow, today there's supposed to be some hot springs up this valley, and apparently there are. One of them they have kind of commercialized, sort of, but it's a sort of swimming pool you'll feel like you're going to get malaria from just by looking at it. And they went and built this half-assed swimming pool, didn't consider any aesthetics with it, didn't use natural rock in its formation. The spring comes out of the mountain, there's signs everywhere. And to have two, crackhead kids being the attendees, it's a white trash paradise in the pool, people chain smoking and drinking in the pool, and it's run down, and I guess they're going to close it for repairs, which is good because it needs it. So we got in there tonight, and the water felt great, and the water, I found where the water come out of the mountain, and felt great, man. Just with the aesthetic of it, and this is a part where you might want to edit kids hearing it, but yeah, there's this other couple in the pool. It's broad daylight. Well, it's afternoon daylight, but and they're chain smoking and they're drinking, neither what you're supposed to do, but the attendants don't give a shit, and they flat out start engaging in sexual acts. Just like broad fucking daylight. National forest, permit swimming pool built around I'm not talking about wild natural springs. We come across a couple. I'm not talking about, any of that. I'm talking about a formalized swimming pool made out of a hot springs with, wooden fence around it and wooden deck and, just... You're a prude, John. It's like, no, I don't really care what two people do to a certain extent. There's just a time and a place for everything, I guess. But it's like, you have to pay to get into the thing. I guess that's part of the thing, too, is it's not just a matter of, paying a use fee for, park use fee like you do sometimes. You have to pay to get in the pool. I don't know. But the water felt nice, but at the same time, you have all this ugliness. It's done badly. It's taking advantage of a natural resource for a private company's fucking profit. Just like Scariest. I fucking hate Scariest. Don't even get me started on that shit. They bring so much to the economy. You know what? They also destroy our fucking society. So, fucking put that in your pipe and fucking smoke it. You probably will. I don't want to turn into some bitter fucking cynic. It's one of those things that, I remember talking about earlier this year. I don't want to be that fucking bitter cynic guy. And there's a plus side of how much beauty I see by continuing this project. And then there's, this awareness of the ugly, increased awareness of the ugly. And I don't want to just be complacent about the ugly, I want to do something about the ugly. So anyhow... 10 days ago, 15 days ago, I don't remember now, had one of those big freight train inspirations about kind of like what's next with this project and what's next year, what about after this, and a lot of things came together to make that and whatnot, so I gotta look at that. This thing's almost dead, and I gotta try writing a journal before I run out of daylight. So, I don't know, this isn't much of a video, but there it is. I don't know, some stuff that's been going on lately. It's been heavy in my head. I miss the kids. We didn't bring the kids on this trip. But it's nice to spend time with Brenda, too. So, I've been just, I don't know, I fought this trip with, we didn't have hard plans set. and that was bothering me a lot, and it's just like a lot of fear-based anxiety about that, and it's just so hard to drive around idiots and not know where you're going, and I don't know, trying to be more like loose in how I do things, but I just require a certain amount of planning to feel okay, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, it rained this afternoon, and when it rained yesterday, we camped at a different place, and in the morning it was really beautiful. Cleared off at night, and the moon came up, and I don't think that's going to happen tonight, but the moon came up, but in the morning, man, it was some serious fog. It was pretty sweet. It's pretty awesome. So anyway, I'm going to call it good. Day 250 of a year in your canvas.